let's talk about the original 2004 Hellboy. This has both Hellboy 1 and 2, but we'll just talk about Hellboy 1 and then 2 like next month. Hellboy 1 is about Hellboy. He is back in 1944, is summoned to Earth by Rasputin, a guy who is bald and works for the Nazis and is obsessed with the cult type stuff. 60 years later, Rasputin is revived by two of his fellow Nazi party members, his girlfriend, and then like a crazy assassin person named like Carl, and is revived to possibly bring about the end of the world. The seven gods of chaos have beckoned Rasputin for a while and have been like, hey, look, dude, we bring you back to Earth somehow with the help of your girlfriend. We'll bring you back to Earth somehow, and you gotta make us come to Earth as well. So now it's up to Hellboy, Abe Sapien, Liz Sherman, and newcomer to the Bureau of Paranormal Investigations, the BPRD, John Meyer, as they team up to stop the Seven Gods of Chaos. And you want to know what, this is a pretty good movie. Guillermo Del Toro was hot off the heels of Blade 2, and I do like Blade 2. Rasputin, his actor, is actually played by the Vampire King's butler, actually from Blade 2. So that's funny. And I will say Rasputin is a bit of my biggest problem with the film. I feel like he could have, maybe with a bit more time, maybe have expanded on him and maybe made him a bit more of an interesting villain. Thankfully, 2 does fix that problem. But yeah, Rasputin isn't necessarily the greatest of comic book villains. But this overall is a pretty good movie. It has nice production design, excellent creature effects, and I think the thing that really stands out with this film is the action sequences. I think both fights that Hellboy has with Samuel, are pretty good. I will say, I feel like the second encounter maybe helps slow down the pace. This is a very slow film, and I don't know, I feel like I can see what Guillermo Del Toro is doing, and I feel like a lot of his movies, at least in my opinion, have sort of pacing hiccups like that. Not some of my favorite ones, but even Pacific Rim, which is probably my favorite Guillermo Del Toro film, I feel has a bit of a pacing thing. But that might also be because I'm just a big kid. He's a big kid. We both like action sequences, and I would rather see the big monsters fight in both Pacific Rim and in the Hellboy films. But no, this is a good movie, and I think, of course, Ron Perlman did a fantastic job as Hellboy. So fantastic that they literally made 2 animated Hellboy movies in between 1 and 2. The Hellboy animated films are probably their own continuity, most likely, more based on the comics. But this is still a pretty solid film. Liz Sherman is okay. I do think that I don't really see the chemistry between Liz and Hellboy, and apparently in the comics, well, for one, Hellboy isn't a teenager. He's basically your dad. He basically is like how your dad would go to his regular 9-to-5. Hellboy is just a guy, a man, going to his 9-to-5. And I feel like that could be an interesting sort of thing that we could do. But unfortunately, both Hellboy live-action adaptations, I haven't seen Crooked Man yet, but both Hellboy live-action adaptations have gone with the teenager thing, which isn't from the comics. And I don't know, I can't wait to one day see the 9-to-5, just regular Joe type Hellboy. But that being said, Ron Perlman, of course, did a fantastic job. Abe Sapien, played by Doug Jones, is a great creature actor, and I think he does a good job as Abe. He most certainly has more time to stand out in the next film. And Professor Broom, Ian Hunt, John Hurt. Who's Ian Hunt? John Hurt is a fantastic actor who unfortunately passed away, I believe, in 2016. I could be wrong about that. But he was a fantastic actor in many things, such as Alien, the first one, and Harry Potter, all of them, basically, I think. Or he might have just been in 5 of those. But he's a fantastic actor, and I do recommend you watch his performance here and in other films, because he's a really good actor. But yeah, I think this is a good movie. Jonathan Myers, I guess, will be my last sort of note. Jonathan Myers, I think, is a good character. I kind of wish that he came back, and that they didn't sort of, brush him off in, some sort of throwaway line. I understand why he's here, and I understand why he's not in the second film. He's our POV, and by the second film, we understand how this world works, and now it's just about expanding it more. But I don't know, I feel like John Myers had, enough brush strokes that you could really start to fill in his character if there was more with him. But unfortunately, we could not get that. I wonder if that guy said anything else. I'll have to look on Letterboxd. But yeah. That's it. I love this film. It's not as good as 2. I think 2 is the best of the 2. But I do recommend both films. I recommend you try to find the Hellboy animated films, because these are good, fun, little fall-themed films. The beginning of Hellboy 1, starts in, the time of the Nazis, but then goes into, Halloween. So this takes place during Halloween and then a few days after Halloween. The next film is, I think, taking place expressly in the fall time. So these are nice fall movies, and yeah, I do recommend these films. Tell me, have you seen The Crooked Man? Is that any good? I've heard terrible things. And also comment below, let me know if you've seen these films, and do you agree with me? Do you think number 1 is better, or do you think number 2 is better? Comment below, let me all know that kind of stuff. Are you familiar with Hellboy comics? I've only seen the films, except the horrible 2019 reboot. But that is it for now. Remember that God made you special. He loves you very much. I hope you had a very lovely day. I hope you had a very lovely week. And as always, God bless, and see you Sunday.